Hello DevOps people, I'm back. Welcome to another session of Cooking with Jochen, where I'm doing in general DevOpsy stuff and more specifically chef configuration management and automation. For today I'd like to simply pick up where I left last week, which was automating the open sourcing of our cookbooks, basically. So the setting is that we maintain our chef cookbooks in a single, in other words, monolithic repository that is private on GitHub. And we've started open sourcing some of our cookbooks. And so far we haven't automated that the public repository gets updated whenever we release a new version of one of our open source cookbooks. That's what I'm going to do today, and if time allows, I'll take a look at another automation thing, which is running our cookbook tests or even deploying a chef cookbook when we release a new version. But we'll see how far I can get during this session. Maybe I'll continue this on Thursday then. We'll see. So far, I have set up Travis CI to receive updates on our monolithic chef repository. And if we push a new revision to master that comes with a tag, it'll be a version tag in that case, we run a script, export cookbooks, which I built last week. Let's take a look at that. That's that. So we do a few pre-flight checks, then we read the tag from an environment variable that Travis provides us with, and we split it into the cookbook and the version, which are separated by a hyphen. Then we'll define the target repository. We determine the target repository, which is stored in this file, export repository, in the cookbook's root directory. So we take the cookbook from the tag, and then we look in source, cookbook name, if there is a file, .export repository. If there is, we continue. If not, it doesn't make sense to continue. Then we get the target repository name, which is the URL we are going to update. Then we do a clone of our monolithic repository. Check out the master branch, because that's the only branch from which we are going to export. Then we throw away all the commits that don't affect the current cookbook we are trying to export. Set our target repository as the new origin and push our changes there. After that, we clean up the repository copy because we don't need it anymore. So with each release, we basically create a new repository which we can push, and it shouldn't cause problems because the commits that are already in the exported repository will be identical to the commits we have here. We probably have only a few additional commits that will then be pushed. So I don't expect any issues here. The only issue we still have is, and I wasn't able to finish this last week, that this script is supposed to run on Travis and the Travis infrastructure. So Travis needs to have access to this target repository. Of course, it has access to the origin repository because that's what triggers the CI process, but that doesn't mean it'll have access to the target repository. And I have looked into this last week, and what we need to do is to create a new user account for Travis and allow this user account to access our open source repositories on GitHub. Let's take a look at how this is going to work. I need to refresh my memory myself. I don't know, was it in private projects? Nope. I might be better off using Google, I guess. Let's try and search for Travis GitHub user key. Private dependencies is the chapter I was looking into. So we need a user key. It is recommended to create a dedicated CI user account. That will, however, cause additional cost, won't it? Password. How does password work? Repository are running. You know, the credentials for a user account that has at least 3 because well, I won't use my own password here, and we'll need a dedicated user account for that as well. So I'll have to create a new user account. Okay. Oh, hey, Slayer Darth. You're back. Great, I appreciate it. Office Wi-Fi has been down for like 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, feels bad, man. Boss had to use his iPhone as a hotspot. I hope you're not watching the stream over his tethered iPhone. But yeah, that can throw in a heavy wrench into your operation. Maybe we should do a bit of brainstorming. What to do when the office Wi-Fi is off for several hours? I'd probably take a walk. There's always stuff that needs some pondering and or decisions that need to be made, and I guess that's an ideal opportunity. So were you able to work at all via your boss's iPhone, or how did you deal with that situation? Alright, I'll create a new user account, but learning from past mistakes, I'll do it off screen. Worked off boss's iPhone connection. As soon as I try to download the doc, his connection died. Yeah, no wonder, isn't it? Alright, now I'm going through the motions of creating a new GitHub account here. Well, I should be able to do this in this browser as well. The hoops I had to jump through to try and get Docker working on Windows in as little time as possible. Oh yeah. In my experience, running Docker on anything else than Linux is a pain, and that's exactly one of the main reasons why I'm working on one of our servers here and not in a local terminal on my Mac. So, I guess I'll have to verify the user account first. Or do I just invite a member? So, oh, I need to buy more seats first, okay. seat. To the operations too. There we go. I'm sorry for the lack of screen interaction, but these things just require a bit of privacy. Okay. Account is verified. And now join the organization. That's that. Okay, so how do I use this user key? We could use an API token because we're running the builds for. It's not about running the build though, is it? But if I use it in a URL like this, but I had to integrate that into the repository URL. The find string only works with double quotes, not single quotes. Oh man. Yeah, you have my sympathy for having to run your stuff on Windows. I can't imagine doing that. Even though I get a lot of grief from my World of Warcraft guildies for running the game on the Mac, I wouldn't touch Windows with a long stick. Let's see. So API token would have to be in the netrc file, which is a pain. No, it's not actually. I could do this in a before install. I like that idea. So I'd simply encrypt the token in my Travis YAML file. Then I can write it into the netrc file here. let's give it a try. So I'm going to create an API token. Settings. Developer settings. Personal access tokens. Is that? Personal access tokens, exactly. Okay. Token. By the way, that's a huge difference between the Windows shell and the Unix shell, because handling these double quotes and single quotes isn't the job of the command, but of the shell that will then execute the command. So this makes many things much easier and and especially much more consistent. Now I need another shell window, which is also private because I'm going to use it to encrypt the API token. And that's how that goes. Hey Daft Kid, thanks for following. I appreciate it. Happy to have you on the channel. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. If you have any questions, by the way, and that goes to everyone out there, if you have any questions, let me know. Pop in the chat and ask away if you need me to explain something, or if you have any questions that I might be able to answer or not. So, okay. Oh, I see. I set an environment variable. It doesn't get encrypted in the Travis file, actually. So, yeah, it's not the encrypt command that's used here. It's the environment set command, which I'm simply using to set a private environment variable. That won't show up in the logs as well. So, okay. Yeah, so very good. Just found DevOpsstream. Yeah, I'm doing mostly infrastructure automation stuff because we run a huge server farm for web hosting, and without automation we wouldn't be able to handle that with an ops team of 3 people, or 4 counting me in, so I hope you will be able to take a bit away from this. All right, so I guess I need that before install. That actually will apply to all GitHub access, I guess. So I'll have to add this user to all our repositories, but I've already done that by adding the CI user to the ops group. So this should theoretically work. Okay. Okay, so all I've added is this. Let's commit this and merge it into master. See, that's why I don't like git commit -m, because it doesn't. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory here. Yeah. I should. So yeah, git commit messages should be concise, but they should consist of more than a few words. That's why I don't like git commit -m. It makes it likely that the commit message will be too short. Well, I guess I can go ahead and merge this, and then we'll give it a try. Hey, unknown sector. How you doing? You mean naming all my commits stuff is bad practice? No, stuff is perfectly fine. But just writing added new feature or something like that, that is completely confusing. But because it doesn't tell you anything about the feature itself, stuff is what we are dealing with every day, isn't it? In order to automatically export new words, this change. Thanks for following Unknown Sector, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy this channel. This change automates this via CI. Commits to master tagged with cookbook name and version. Trigger an export if the cookbook has an external repository URL in export repository. For my personal project, I'm using something like as a commit message just for backing up my files. Well, it's to be serious. It's perfectly valid to have short commit messages while you are working on something. I even have an alias that is called GWIP, and it simply does a commit with work in progress as the name. However, in the end, I mostly do a git rebase where I'm merging commits and removing interim commits like the WIP stuff. And so in the end, there should be a list of a few commits that have expressive titles and a bit of a description what they do. Okay, so I guess I'll merge this. And now let's see, the NSDX cookbook is currently exported in version 1.0.0. Let's pull our master branch. Lots of other commits come in as well, but they are not relevant here. So let's see, the NSDX cookbook in our own repository has 1.0.1. Has that been tagged? Yes, it has. Okay. But anyway, I can tag that just for testing purposes with git tag NSDX v1.0.1a. How do I push a single tag if it's not already set? Git push origin tag name. Okay. Nice. So let's see what Travis does with this. Oh, we haven't even set up Travis for this repository. So let's go ahead and do this. Can I trigger a build and it'll take the tag? We'll see. Oh yeah. At least we'll see if the build process runs in general. Here's my CI user token. Gets written into netrc. No build necessary. Skipping a deployment of the script provider because this is not a tagged commit. Alright. That's how it's supposed to work if the commit wasn't tagged. Now let's go ahead and push another tag. Okay. So we'll need to strange. Why did it work with A and not with B? Oh, because I did a push to master, didn't I? Interesting. Okay. Git tag msdx v1.0.1b. Okay. Yep, it got the tag. Oh, that's interesting. It does a git clone depth 50, which means if we export this, we'll only be able to push the last 50 commits to the new repository. That's not exactly what we want, I guess. Script failed with status 1. But I did not see anything. No stash entries found. What does that mean? Does an gem install DPL? It probably means deploy. And then it fails. I don't think it did try and start my export script, did it? Doesn't tell me anything about this. Let's trigger another build. Can I restart this job? Yeah, I can. I would have expected some kind of log entry. Waiting for the job to start. Fittingly ominous music in the background. Come on, Travis. What's the problem? You're not having queue issues again during my stream, do you? Booting. Have a broken Travis. Now this is annoying. Still booting. Okay. In the meantime, I'll go and take a look at my export script. should start with quickly telling us about the cookbook that it's going to export if the pre-flight checks all go through. And I could take a look at this shallow clone they seem to be making. There is an issue about the git depth option. Okay, I could simply set the depth to an impossibly high value. Or I could simply execute git fetch unshallow. Okay, I guess we should do this in the export script only. Oops, nope, that wasn't it. Okay. Let's see how our job is working. No, broke again. Where? Deploy script output. Oh, do I have to make the script executable? Hey Pritchard bots, welcome to the stream. Thanks for following. Well. Okay, the script has to be set executable and referred to with an absolute or relative path. Let's make sure that's the case. Yep. Okay, we can do that. We have to commit a new version anyway. And now let's do another tag. And see how things are looking now. I'm still pretty new to using Travis CI, and learning all these things is a necessary step, I guess. Finding out how it behaves in these situations. The upside is that once I have these things down and I know how Travis behaves, adding more stuff, for example, running the actual tests for the cookbook that has been tagged will be much easier and much quicker. But for the time being, I'm asking you to bear with me and maybe learn with me. Still script failed without any... Oh, well, what I didn't do was... Well, it is called with a relative path, isn't it? I should even be able to just call it like this. Let's keep the bash command. I wonder if I can... Well, I could always add the X. It's a bit annoying that I have to push all these things from master. Maybe I should think about disabling the master constraint and working from the branch. Yeah, I think that makes sense. We could go back to the original branch, which I already merged, but still. We could create another one. Okay, that's that. And let's do another tag. And another push. While that is running, I create a new branch. With a new Travis YAML. and we only work on this branch. Again, it's failing. Okay. Well, let's see if I can do something like this. This shouldn't trigger the deployment script because I hadn't set a tag. I hope I'm not running out of letters. Oh, already pushed the tag, okay. So it should have already triggered a new build. Yep, here we go. Oh no, that's not mine. Probably should disable the run on the master branch. Huh, look at that. Oh, I saw it blink for a second and I didn't notice that I can unfold this. Okay. All right, so let's see what it did. It creates a new, does a clone. And I can't git checkout master. Lots of new tags. Yeah, that's from the git fetch. 673F. Is that mine? Yeah. Interesting. Git checkout master will not work. Okay. Well, I don't actually mind, because that was only in there for testing purposes anyway. Let's tag this right away. See, these are the things that I need to learn, that if there is a triangle in front of this, I can unfold things. I simply hadn't noticed yet. Once again, it broke. This time, source ref spec master does not match. Yeah, okay. Once again, we are referencing master. I guess I need to change this into something like head/master. Okay, let's do this. But let's find out if this is renegade push head. Also prevents you from pushing the normal push by accident. That's head colon and then master. Also, I don't need the plus X here anymore. Another failure. Okay, the key you are authenticating with has been marked as read-only. Did I actually create a read-only token? Let me see. I do it off screen again, just to be sure that I don't expose anything confidential. Actually, I think might actually be the token. I'll have to log in with my CI user again. And let's see. Settings. sure, maybe I simply create the wrong token here. Don't think so. Huh. Okay, I guess I'll have to do a few more experiments. The export script seems to be running fine until here, so it does the filter branch and then it tries to get the push done, and then it fails. Could not read. Yeah, okay. Been marked as read only. Why is it read only? I'll have to take a look at our settings and stuff. But since that will mostly happen in private, I guess I'll call it for today. I'll definitely be back on Thursday with any new insights that I might find in the meantime. So, that being said, thanks to everyone for joining me today. I hope it was at least a little bit interesting, even though I haven't finished my work yet. I hope to be a bit more successful on Thursday. So if you haven't yet, follow the stream so you get a notification as soon as I'm back again. And until next time, cheers.